Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a special edition of AnglersChannel.com video. We got Pro Staffer Rob Digh with us, just back from Texas, as he was fishing the Rayovac down there on Sam Rayburn and came in 15th. That's his second top 15 finish on the Rayovac Series this year. So, Robbie, congratulations on that. You know, we said last week we were down at Sportsman's Warehouse and we were going over some tournaments, and now it's just that time of year where it's dozens and dozens and dozens of tournaments every weekend. This coming weekend's no exception. But before we take a look ahead, let's look back to Sam Rayburn. You really liked that lake, didn't you? And you know, you caught an 8-pound big fish, I think, on day one. I mean, you had a good time down there.
Yeah, that's a great lake. You know, it's full of big fish. You know, Texas is, everything's bigger in Texas, John. But, you know, those lakes down there are just massive, just huge lakes. And the lake was flooded, and it just fit me real good. But Texas lakes are all have Florida bass in them, and you know, Florida bass grow bigger, so it was a good time.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And what was your total weight for 3 days?
I had 31 pounds, right at 31 pounds for 2 days, and I think it took 48, if I'm not mistaken, to win the whole deal. So the fish were really biting.
How did you catch that big fish?
Caught him on swim bait. Throwing a swim bait, lots of grass down there, and you know, just slow rolling a swim bait over top of that grass. And it seemed like most guys were down there flipping, and I did catch a few fish flipping, but I'm bad to stay on the move, so I wanted to fish something I could move around with. Didn't know the water that well, so I threw that swim bait to cover some water and to find some bigger fish.
Well, I tell you what, it's a good start for you for 2015, no doubt. Now, we've got a lot of stuff going on this weekend, folks. We got the Rayovac left. Sam Rayburn's going up to Grand Lake in Arkansas, which the Bassmaster Classic was at, I believe, a year ago. We got a Southern Open going on at the Alabama River. Robbie, what's your experience down there?
Well, John, this time of year, all these lakes, the fish are going to be on the beds. Going to be a lot of bed fishing going on. We're getting a lot of rain. You know, if you can't sight fish them, you know, throw a spinnerbait, frog, stuff like that. Alabama River's full of big spots, so it's going to be a great tournament. Grand Lake, same thing. I mean, you know, I don't think they're getting near the rain that Alabama's getting, but it's going to be probably a pure sight fishing tournament at Grand Lake, and it's going to take a lot of weight.
Wow, that's interesting. All right, let's move on down this list. We're looking at the tournament tracker here on AnglersChannel.com, and, you know, we've got a Operation North State, which is basically a charity tournament here on Lake Norman tomorrow, which is Thursday, and they needed some more boats to come out and take these wounded vets out on the water. So if you're capable of doing that, it's a good time to go for a good cause, on top of the fact Norman is fishing very, very well. Speaking of Norman, we've got the Oakley Big Bass coming into town this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. We're going to be out there on Sunday covering the final day. You know, that's a $30,000 boat motor trailer package. Robbie, you think it's going to take an 8-pound fish to win that tournament?
Yeah, you know, there's been several 8-pounders weighed in these tournaments, taking 25 to win these night tournaments. Report yesterday has it there was a 9-3 caught. Norman is just unbelievable. It's definitely one of the best lakes in the country right now. You got to come out and fish it.
Well, and listen, we got more to cover here, folks. We've got the Angler's Choice Marine Team Trail has their tournament up on Kerr this weekend. Last weekend there was a Goodyear team trail tournament up on Kerr, took almost 19 pounds, but the depth of the high teens bags was pretty good.
Yeah, those fish up there, John, the reports I've been getting, you know, the fish are being caught down on the lower end, nutbush, again, sight fishing. The water up there is like 301. There's just barely a few bushes in the water, so the guys are running the backs of the creeks, throwing worms, top waters. Kerr has really come back since that bass virus has hit it, so probably 20 pounds again this weekend.
Wow, that's really good. And again, so many fish in that lake, everybody goes up and has a good time.
Oh, that lake is slam full of fish, and if it comes back to what I think it's going to be like it used to be in the early 90s, it is going to be one of the best bass lakes in the country.
Wow, that's fantastic. We've got a Savannah Lakes Open Bass Tournament on Clarks Hill. The information on that tournament's on the tournaments page of AnglersChannel.com. I want to say first place is $10,000 guaranteed, but you need to check that out. Maybe $5,000. It's a lot of money. Good tournament they got going on down at Clarks Hill this weekend. We've also got the Big Bass Bash on Lake of the Ozarks. It's not the Big Bass Splash you were talking about, but it's another one, $10,000 guaranteed first place. And Robbie, shoot, we could go through 5, 10 more, but you get lost. Bottom line is there's a lot going on right now, a lot of money on the line. The fish are biting well, literally anywhere you go. With the rain that we're getting this week throughout, really, you know, it started in Texas and has moved east, and we're getting dumped on today. I bet 2-3 inches. What effect can that have on everything this Saturday?
Well, you know, a lot of guys love to sight fish, and this is going to take some of the sight fishing out because it's going to dirty the water up. Spinnerbait, chatterbait, you know, it's going to make the fish bite because we've had all clear water, no rain, so it's going to be a good outcome, John.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, great seeing you. Congratulations on the big tournament down at Sam Rayburn. And folks, we'll be back here next week. Have a safe weekend on the water.